An Anti-War Guide 4. Chapter 1. Anti-War Musings. How to End War. Get all troops out of foreign lands. Americans have around 800 bases in foreign lands. Get rid of any national intelligence and security service that have no accountability but do what they want in the name of the national interest. Stop manufacturing and buying military equipment. Don't start wars. Focus on peace and prosperity. Tell other nations you're about peace, that you will not participate in organizations like NATO. Focus on defense within your own borders only. Don't play politics or make stupid comments about how other people run their nations. You can't believe in the mainstream media, so when you see a story, don't believe it until you investigate it more. For example, the story about Russians invading the Ukraine. The truth is that a lot of those Ukrainians living near Russia want to be a part of it for economic reasons. There is a story that Putin woke up and had a vision of Ukraine being a part of Russia, so shame on him for ending his life as an egotistical jerk wanting more land, causing 1 million deaths from what I heard at Renzi.com. Don't be a bully on the world scene. Don't lie with obvious propaganda. Don't go beyond your borders seeking to be aggressive towards others. Chapter I. Article 2 of the United Nations Charter, all members shall refrain in their international relations from the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state, or in any other manner inconsistent with the purposes of the United Nations. Support pacifism. Say no to imperialism. There is enough to keep you busy within your own borders. Create, support or join an anti-war group. Peace activist movements are never enough to stop the military madness money machine. Peace movements have come nowhere close to making a dent in the biggest industry in the world, the war industry. In every country, a few bankers and manufacturers make a lot of money from the business of war. I read a book where the author claimed that people in the CIA used to look at a map and decide on where to start a war in order to keep their war business going strong. How are you going to get a populace to end its warring ways in a society that demands patriotism everywhere where it's tied in with being pro-military? They play the national anthem at all big sports events. They tell us to support our mangled vets all the time. There is a TV commercial on Fox News about sending $20 or so a month to help disabled vets. For me, that blood is on the politicians' hands, but they're not staying up nights feeling sorry for those vets. It's a ploy to parade these vets on TV and demand sympathy when the truth is that these people were naive pawns who bought into the lying propaganda, got injured and are now exploited to keep the war mentality going. I believe the only great countries are the ones who get over the manufactured fear and use their money to help people, not on buying guns, bombs, and tanks for this fantasy of being constantly vigilant about some phony threat of Mongol hordes crossing the border like a pack of wild Huns. It's not going to happen, especially if your country is an ocean away from all the other countries like US and Canada are. Who would waste their time attacking Canada or the US? The countries are so big. The people are so lazy and rude. You could never conquer such people. They would be useless to any tyrant. Here are some tactics peace organizations use. Advocacy of pacifism. Nonviolent resistance. Diplomacy. Boycotts. Peace camps. Moral purchasing. Supporting anti-war political candidates. Legislation to remove the profit from government contracts to the military-industrial complex. Banning guns. Creating open government transparency tools. Direct democracy. Supporting whistleblowers. Demonstrations. Political lobbying groups. It's all about using our energy to help people live better lives rather than buying guns, bombs, planes, uniforms, bullets, etc. We could easily eliminate poverty and homelessness if we eliminate war. Here are 11 conclusions of war. 1. The fat cat elitists who start wars never fight in them. A bunch of people die. They get rich and promoted, forgetting about the war very quickly after it's over. 2. No country should have a military presence more than 5 miles beyond its border anywhere. The term national interest is simply another code term for evil imperialism. The United Nations should have one military force that stops any military force worldwide that goes beyond its own borders, but of course we can't because the American military force is so dominant it does whatever it wants. 3. The people en masse don't want war. If they ruled their countries as in ruling online by voting through a website like peoplepower.gov for any country, they would always vote war down. It's always a few people in any government that start the wars. 4. If you don't want war, don't have a military force, especially in this modern age. Costa Rica gets along fine without a military force. The waste of money for war equipment is monumental. My native country of Canada has never been attacked since Confederation in 1867. The last time it was attacked was by the United States in 1812, who are allies now, yet we routinely spend over $25 billion on a military force every year, not to mention CSIS, the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, while we have high unemployment, poverty, and homelessness. 5. War, terror, and fear are products of a big propaganda machine on TV, newspapers, etc. The CIA has agents working in the media. The corporate media is tied into the war machine. The same corporations that own weapons companies own media companies. War is good for all businesses, including the media, as long as it's entertainment done in a foreign land. The Russians were never coming to invade. The Cold War was a big theatrical performance done in the media to keep the people scared of a phony arms race so they could spend trillions on the military. The US military helps produce slick phony pro-war films like Black Hawk Down, Air Force One and Top Gun, but not anti-war films like Apocalypse Now, Platoon, Full Metal Jacket, The Thin Red Line and Dr. Strangelove. See what CIA whistleblower John Stockwell or journalist Dave Emery have to say about it. 6. We got fearmongers telling us there is terror all around in the homeland, so we got a big NSA complex in Utah that employs over 56,000 people while people are poor everywhere in the United States. It's a waste of money while we neglect helping people where they really need it, but nobody rises up. 7. If you want to stop war, we have to stop creating weapons somehow. We have to force those companies to produce useful things that people need, not weapons. 8. Beware of military people because some of them want to take over their own country and or the world and depopulate it using biological and chemical weapons. They want just enough people on planet Earth to be able to control them as slaves. Be wary because the limits of evil these people are capable of know no bounds. Look up United Nations Agenda 21 to depopulate the planet. They have deep underground bunkers ready to hide away in if they unleash this stuff. It was on a TV show with Jesse Ventura. They drove through some underground bunker in Arkansas. It was at least 5 miles long. They also have space stations. They can orbit around Earth indefinitely as long as they have food, water, and air, so they can kill all the plebes then come down to start over. 9. Do not underestimate human evil. Evil has a way of masquerading as good. Look at your politicians. Nothing will change until you, the people, start ruling yourselves by casting votes online for everything important, not leaving it to a bunch of phony representatives who have created this disgusting world we live in right now. 10. Ever ask a barber if you need a haircut? He says yes because he wants to make money. Bombs depreciate quickly. They must be exploded in order to make more money. Military people need war to keep their field expanding. They need war and the phony threat of war to keep getting paid. If they really cared, they would leave and try to end it. 11. The security agencies and militarizing civilian police forces to supposedly fight terrorism is a move towards a dictatorial police state. If you're not a terrorist, most people in the world will not attack you. Freedom fighters don't attack Costa Rica. They have no beef with them. They have a beef with their attackers who plunder their lands. If you want to stop the threat of terrorism, get your military forces out of other people's lands. People don't want surveillance cameras, police officers, and customs officers dressed like military soldiers ready for combat hanging around their neighborhoods. In a peaceful nation, the police are almost invisible. They don't hassle people. They only respond to calls. They don't dress like thugs or act like them. I don't want cops patrolling my streets with rifles at the ready like we had at a local parade. It doesn't make me feel safe. As long as the police have the power to stop and search anyone for drugs, we will be living in a police state.